Well, father was very energetic. He had a great love of the early days of flying. He first of all went to a air race at Doncaster Airport in 1912 when the aeroplanes flew round the course that the horses did. And he joined the Royal Naval Air Service and went through training at Wormwood Scrubs, and he remembers getting a letter saying Flight Sub-Lieutenant Struthers, Wormwood Scrubs, with a line through it saying not known at prison, try Naval Air Station. So he always laughed a bit at that. He had a great sense of humour. So having trained, he then really went to Mullion to take command of his first airship, which was C9, on regular patrols. He had obviously training in various other airships like the Beta, and we have on display in fact the propeller hub of the Beta with a clock in it nowadays. In Mullion he started off, Mullion being on the Lizard Point. It was sort of a point of land where convoys, well before convoys, but steamships made their landfall before going up the channel. And so it was an ideal hunting ground for the German submarines. And then they would come in and they would stalk the submarine, and eventually the submarine would hear them or see them and it would dive. And of course some considerable time elapses from the time that the submarine starts to dive to it's actually done. So he could then speed up and he would follow the track of the submarine and drop his bombs ahead of where the foam of the submerged submarine was lying. So that was a very effective tactic. And throughout the time he was at Mullion, which was sort of 16, 17 and maybe a little bit into 18, he developed these tactics well, and he really had a great deal of success. And when the convoy system came into effect in about late 1917, when all the ships were grouped together, there really was an effective deterrent to submarines by having an airship over them, and convoys were not attacked in the same way. So after all that, a lot of hard work, he did a lot of flying, flew nearly 2,000 hours in the war, more than any other airship pilot. He went to Kingsnorth, which was just north of London, and there he took command of North Sea airship type NS6, and that was a much superior craft. It was bigger, it was faster, it had a cabin for the crew, and rather like a submarine. They had a coxswain, they had a foreplanesman, they had an afterplanesman, so that the ship could truly work in 3 dimensions. There's a wonderful scene of the airship folded in two because he lost gas out of one of the centre balloons. So once the 1918 came along and it was decided that there would be a unified flying team of people. So the Navy, the Royal Naval Air Service, all their flyers were amalgamated with the Royal Flying Corps. The Royal Flying Corps obviously had the duty of reconnaissance and fighting over the trenches in France, Belgium, and there was quite a lot of anxiety about the two troops joining together. They had different traditions, different cultures, and to begin with it very much was we don't want the bull of the army, and that got through to father in the end, and he, although a founder member of the RAF on the 1st of April 1918, he left the service in 1919 as soon as hostilities were finished.